How do you find the x-intercepts of a quadratic function? So I'm just So I'm just going to write the standard equation of a quadratic function, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. And one way of figuring it out is using factors. So, by factoring, sorry. So if we're given over here, what we have to, the first method that we're going to use is called factoring. Just going to put it in red. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do for factoring is think of a product or two numbers that are being multiplied that are the same as A times C. Okay. And the sum of B. So for example, we have 3x squared plus 5x plus 7. Sorry, let's make this 4. So we have to find a product whose multiple is 3 times 7, which is 21, and a sum of 4. So we know that 7 times 3 is 21. Oh wait, sorry. Okay, so we know that it's going to be negative 21. We have to find a number that makes negative 21. We know that negative 3 times 7 equals negative 21. And also we know that 7, if we add negative 3 to it, will equal 4. So that was our first criteria, finding the numbers. Our second is putting those actual numbers in. So basically making your middle term accessible to both sides. You'll see what I mean when I do this. So our two terms are 3 and 7, so we're going to put negative 3x squared. We're basically changing nothing over here, we're just kind of making it easier to factor. So that positive 4 is going to turn into a negative 3x and a positive 7x, because when you add them together, they're the same number, which is 4x plus 7. And then it's easier to factor out the common terms. So here, in this, negative 3x is common, and you can factor that out. And you're left with x plus 1. And over here, 7 is common, so you can take that out, and you're left with x plus 1. Group the like terms together, and you're left with negative 3x plus 7 and x plus 1. And then you can find out your x-intercepts by just, this whole equation is equals to 0. And then you can just figure out your, and then you can just figure out your zeros by isolating them, like that. So negative 3x plus 7 is equals to 0. You can isolate for x. Negative 3x is equals to negative 7. Divide each side by negative 3. X is equals to 7 over 3. That's our first x-intercept. And x plus 1 is equals to 0, so that's to negative 1. So those are our two x-coordinates for that function. Another way you can factor is by the quadratic equation. So how that works, our quadratic equation is pretty simple, which is x is equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And if you look back at our original equation, like our standard form, we're going to use this value for a, this value for b, and this value for c in our equation and figure out our two x's.